Hey, welcome back to the channel. So we have here Fatimah. Yeah, this is the PTR server, and we gonna try to see. Like last time, we cannot analyze the Fatimah based on the patch notes. Like they didn't give us any stats there. So yeah, currently we are going to see. Like, I can already see the captain ability is attack here, so that is good. So let's go. We're gonna grab this. And let's go. Yeah, we do have the maintenance gift in here. Let's go. Delete the mail, and we're gonna go to the S first here. Wait, before I go here, I do want to see the stats first. Where is it? Come on. Gonna see the stats of Fatimah. Maximum stats. Ooh, balanced stats. As expected. Like, we know already that Fatimah used attack, defense, and speed for her stats. So this is good. Like a really nicely balanced attack and defense stats. Like it is above average. Like it's above 1,000. So this is like a high average. High-end average, and the HP is also quite alright. Like so, she can this is what we call a bruiser in other RPG games. So we will see the rival rune attack like War Machine here. Nice. So she does need the attack stats quite a lot then, and Avatara is also always gonna be good. Like we know that Fatimah increase her AP whenever she use her basic ability. And look, maximum level Esper, level 60. Ooh, quite alright. Like they focus more on the attack in here, in the rival rune. So we can already expect that she gonna use her attack more than her defense. And also, yeah, overall it's a nicely balanced stats. But that's the thing, like we haven't gone into her skill set yet. But we know that usually a jack of all trades not gonna be performing that well, and also she kind of have a critical rate and critical damage in here. So like I said, like in the analysis of the 3.4.7, I think yes, the last video we did, she does need quite a lot of stats. She needs attack, defense, speed, critical rate, and critical damage. And from here we know already that none of her attacks gonna be of true damage, unlike Jincho. Okay, so yes, he's gonna be really hard to build. So let's go take a look at her skills in here. Where is Fatimah? Should be at the far end. There we go. Fatimah. So let's see her first skill. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Yeah, quite above average. Like I told you that if this multi-hit is only 2 hits, then it's bad. But I expected that it's gonna be 3 or 4 hits. So this is 3 hits, so this is good. And again, like she is of Inferno element, so we can definitely use her in Fafnir. Like I do expect her other abilities to hit more multiple times than the first skill, so as to make use of her in Fafnir. Like this is gonna be a really good Esper for Fafnir then. Let's see. Next one enemy 3 times damage per hit can go up to 45%. So 3 times that is around 135% attack. So that is good. Like this is above average number. And it only used attack stats, so that's why she used the War Machine, and also she focused more on the attack. So this is a good news. Like the basic ability is already above average, and it gives you AP plus 10%. Not that much, but it is good if you can manage to trigger this with Avatara, or with pair her up with Liam, or with Chuyao. Then going to the second ability, attacks one enemy 3 times, damage per hit 30% attack. So yeah, like I said, like this is pretty straightforward. Like in the analysis, like the first skill and the second skill, there is nothing special about these 2 skills. Like it also steals 1 buff, so it can steal up to 3 buffs, and the attack can go up to 50%. So this is 150% attack. As a second skill, this is not much. This is just like an upgrade of the first skill. Like this is exactly the same as the first skill. Like 45% and 50%. Like only 5% difference times 3 is 15% difference. And it has a cooldown of 3 turns, so quite alright. So the first skill and second skill, there is nothing much, nothing like, you know, unique about her. So I do expect that the third skill have a lot of things going on. So let's take a look. Attack style enemies 3 times damage per hit, 30% attack, can go up to 45%. So this in total gonna be 135% attack. So above average, like usually an AoE attack gonna hit for 100% attack. So this is strong. So her strength comes from the basic ability and also the third skill. Like this gonna hit really hard. And deals increased damage per Sun Glory stack. Again, this is like a totally, how to say, like nothing useful kind of golden buff. Like it only be here as a counter, you know, like a counter to trigger this Sun Glory stack. So, but this one have a maximum of 10 stacks, and each time an enemy gets, it doesn't mention that how much damage is increased per Sun Glory stack. Let me read the whole thing first. Each time an enemy gets above Fatimah's attack plus 1%, defense plus 1%, and speed plus 1, trigger up to 100 times. What the hell? Oh. So this is where her strength comes from. So this can increase Fatimah's attack by 100% and defense by 100% and speed by plus 100. Oh, this is insane. Yeah. And which enemy gains a lot of buffs? Like, I can already know that Fafnir, every time he moves, he will gain at least 2 kinds of buffs. The first one is the shield, and the other one is the one that increases his critical damage. So yeah, gonna be insanely strong in a long fight against Fafnir. But then again, it's counterproductive. Like, we do want to kill Fafnir as fast as possible. So she's not gonna be useful in how to say, like, you know, trying to get into the leaderboard as high as possible, you know. And yeah, and the damage is also not really good for a single target damage, like, because this is an AoE damage, and in Fafnir you do want to deal you know, a lot of multi-hit single target damage to Fafnir, you know, to kill him as fast as possible. So yeah, this is gonna be really good for newer player, but for a veteran player, I don't think this is gonna increase your leaderboard on Fafnir that much. And for other bosses, she's gonna be really good against the Counter Sonica, I think. Yeah, because she does a lot of multi-hits, and Counter Sonica can only be hit on the like above 3 hits and above, I think. Yeah, on the 4th hit, like, she will get the maximum damage. So she can be used for that, but then again, not something that is going to change, you know, your score much, I think. But it should be there should be something else. We will see. We will try it out later in the VR battleground. Trigger and gains 1 stack of Sun Glory. Okay, when Sun Glory stacks reach the limit, instantly gets visibility and removes all stacks of Sun Glory. If a target's attack defense speed is below hers when she deals damage, like, this is a slash. Okay, so I do expect at least one of these stats is below hers. She gains 1 stack of Sun Glory for each activity. Yeah, so you can gain up to 3 stats. Depending on how many stats the enemy is below Fatimah, and triggers once per turn. So if she can manage to hit 3 enemies or more, like around 4 enemies, then she will get a maximum stack of Sun Glory. And she is immune to control effects inflicted by enemies whose attack, defense, and speed are all below hers. So if you can get all 3 stats below Fatimah, then she won't be inflicted by any control effects. But this is only control effects. She can be inflicted by debuffs. So at the very least, she cannot be stunned, you know. But there is nothing interesting in here. Like this kind of thing, like the immunity is more for a PvP battle, and for a PvE, like I said, like, this is good for a long battle. So this is gonna be really good in Sentinel Hunt or in the, you know, Falsetto Fantasy. But yeah, I haven't got any idea, like, you know, who to pair her with. Like this is pretty much straightforward. Like this is a 3 multi-hit AoE damage basically. Yeah. And then the captain ability increase all ally attack by 30%. Oh my god, there's no specialty in here. This is just like the same as, you know, Ashley and the other attack up like Wukong and Li Ling. You know, nothing that is special about her. Like I did expect a lot from Gilgamesh, but I don't think the Chinese people understand how insanely cool Gilgamesh is for the Western people. Yeah, I expected from a Dislyte developer. Like most of them are Chinese people, so they do think that the Chinese god is far above everything else. That's why all the Chinese gods mythology are all OP. But this one, oh my god, just kind of like a little bit disappointing. Golden Judgment, each time enemies gain above Fatimah's attack and the speed trigger. Ooh, you can increase her stats by 200%. Okay, so yeah, the difference between Resonance 0 and Resonance 2 is huge. Like this is twice the increase in strength for Fatimah. So yeah, 200% increase means that her stats, I saw that it was 1,000, right, at level 60. So you're gonna get another 2,000 stats, which brings all of her stats to 3,000. That is basic stats, you know. And if you can manage to get equipment to plus 2,000 on the attack, or maybe if you do focus more on the attack, you can increase her attack up to like 4,000. So there's gonna be 7,000 attack in total. Yeah, it's gonna be far above a normal kind of DPS Esper. Like a normal DPS Esper will get like plus 5,000 attack if they focus on critical rate and critical damage too. So plus the 1,000 basic stats is gonna be around 6,000. So yeah, she definitely gonna have a higher attack than most of the other Esper, at the very least. Yeah. Now, this one, the fourth one, when this Esper attacks outside their own turn, damage plus 15%. Yeah, that is quite alright, that is huge. And then the sixth one, Golden Judgment counter attack chance plus 5% permanently up to 50%. Yeah, this is still confusing. Like, which one of her skill is counter attack? What the hell? So she definitely gonna make use of this Avatara. Like, this is a must. Otherwise, your 6 resonance is gonna be useless, you know. This will increase your Avatara chance, you know. But that's it. Like that's just making use of her Avatara, you know, effect. And you can probably pair her up with Hailey, like giving her, you know, the Brawler set and giving the Avatara from Hailey, and Hailey will give that Avatara effect to Fatimah. You know, or the other way around, is gonna be the same. So yeah, that's probably the thing that gonna make use of her 6 resonance. But then again, if you do use her normally, then the 6 resonance is nothing that interesting. It does make the counter attack gonna happen a lot more for Avatara, but it is not something that is game changing. You know, like she does gonna counter attack a lot more times, and she cannot be stunned. So she's probably just gonna be another kind of Ana. You know, Ana already have 100% chance of counter attack, so you're gonna see her performing just like Ana, but as a non-simmer. Now attack for the first one, the second one HP, quite good, alright. Now this one is the one that gives Fighter's Resolve. Yeah, this one is the one that gives Fighter's Resolve. Fighting against Fighter's Resolve at the start of combat. Now, damage taken minus 50%. That is huge. When Sunglory strikes reaches the limit for the first time in Golden Judgment, guys removes this effect. So, she's going to be really hard to kill until she manages to make a move. So, this is good for a team that you don't use a speed captain as your captain buff. So if you do make a team that has Ana as captain, or currently I do have a team with Momo as captain, that is going to increase attack stats for all your allied Esper, and it's usually sometimes most of the time, yeah, most of the time, you're gonna die first if the enemy is of the speed team and they manage to kill you first. But if you do use Fatimah, then she definitely not gonna die, especially if you pair her up with someone else like Young Julie and Sakura. Definitely, if you do pair her up with Sakura, that is already a 75% damage taken reduction. And then pair her up again with Young Julie, she gonna share 15% of her damage taken to Young Julie. And again, if you do pair her up with like Resonance 6 Sally, oh my god, she has 100% damage taken reduction. I don't think that is possible. Like, it's gonna be a multiplication kind of thing, like, you know, 50% minus first, and then the remaining number will be reduced by another 25% from Sakura, and then the remaining number going to be reduced by 25% again with Sally. Like, I don't think you can reach 100% damage taken reduction. But if that is the case, then this is going to be insanely crazy. You can pair her up with Sakura, Sally, and then Jiang Julie, or maybe Everett. Like, if Everett manages to use his third skill first, then she won't be able to receive any damage. You know, but that needs testing. But I don't think I can test it in PTR because I don't have Resonance 6 Sally. You know, but I do want to test her up with Sakura later. We will see. And then the fourth one, increased speed, that is quite alright. The fifth one, increased crit rate. So this helps us a lot in separating the stats. So at least we don't need to invest a lot in the critical rate. And then the sixth one, increase attack. Yeah, this is quite alright. So she doesn't use attack and defense stats for her damage, and hence why the rival rune focused more on the attack stats for her. Even though she needs the defense and speed to be above the enemy, it is not a must. It is not a must. If at least you have attack higher than the enemy, then you can already you know, trigger all this passive. And if you do hit a DPS Esper, your attack is already high enough because of this bonus here, and then your defense and speed is most likely gonna be above a standard Esper. You know, like if you hit a DPS Esper, like as long as your attack is above them, your defense and speed is definitely above them because they don't focus on defense and speed much compared to her increase in these basic stats. From the passive, but if she does hit, inflict the enemies. But if she does get hit by the enemy's supportive Esper, like they gonna have a higher speed and defense compared to Fatimah. So this is still sucks, like because a controller mostly gonna have defense, high defense and speed, or at least if like, you know, most of the time you're gonna focus more on the HP department, but as a support Esper and a controller Esper, they don't usually focus on attack and they have a higher defense. And so if her rival rune doesn't have a higher defense than those controller, then she is not immune to those controller effects. And definitely she's gonna have a lower speed than a support and controller Esper, definitely. So she still won't be immune to control effects coming from a controller and a support Esper at the beginning of the turn, unless they do buff their you know, the enemies a lot. If the enemy buffs their lineup a lot of times first before they start to control your entire lineup. So this mostly gonna happen if the enemy have Feng Sun. Like Feng Sun gonna buff, like, you know, a ton, give a ton of buffs to Fatimah. So yeah, the difference between Resonance 2 and Resonance 0 Fatimah is a lot. Like, you can already get the benefit of the immunity to control effect like a lot faster compared to Resonance 0 Fatimah. So I can already guess that the Resonance 2 Fatimah is gonna be a must to like, you know, counter a lot of controller at the beginning of the battle, you know. So again, like, this is a very hard Esper to use. So I don't really recommend you to build Fatimah, like to gacha for Fatimah. And the Divinate, let's see, after casting Cleansing, which one is Cleansing? For the first skill, oh that's nice. After cleansing, Fatimah has a 50% chance of gaining 1 stack of Sun Glory. So she will be able to get a lot more Sun Glory much faster. So yeah, you definitely need to have this to divinate 3. You know, if you do want to make use of Fatimah, so she gonna be able to counter attack. Oh, that's why they use the resonance 6 to counter attack. Yeah. So if she manages to counter attack a lot, she gonna trigger her first skill a lot of times. And if she has her divinate, that's gonna give her a Sun Glory stack. And after she counter attack 10 times, and when the combined with the number of buffs the enemy cast, you're gonna have your Sun Glory stack a lot of times, and you will be able to keep triggering her third skill, making her an AoE machine, like a AoE spammer machine. So this is great. While the damage of the third skill is also really great, like this is far above any standard AoE DPS Esper. So yeah, that is her playstyle. So yeah, this is a must. The Divinate 3 is a must for her to be able to make use of her, third skill spamming. Wow. But then again, I'm really not that interested in Esper that only excel in dealing damage, because like I always say, a character that only deal high damage will eventually always gonna be replaced, you know. Like for example, like you can already see, like Gaius, when he first came out, like he is the most insane Esper in the entire game. But right now, his damage is so-so because he can be controlled a lot of times, and he doesn't really provide anything else much to his teammate other than dealing damage. So he is basically kind of like replaced by all of the other insanely good Esper, especially like someone that can perform really well for both DPS and also for their teammates, like someone like Feng Sun, someone like Ana, someone like Iki. Even though they don't deal as much damage as Gaius, like they are far more beneficial to your lineup than someone that can only deal damage. So yeah, that is Fatimah, a third skill AoE damage spammer. You know, so let's try her up in the VR Battlegrounds. And I don't think that kind of like straightforward skill is worth testing with Mavis. If there is a bug, as always, it's gonna be fixed really fast the moment someone found out that kind of bug. But yeah, her skill doesn't have anything to do with death prevention, you know. So let's see here. I don't want to use her captain ability yet. I do want to see her pure damage. Like how much damage she deals without any kind of buff, you know. And we will see. Wait. Ooh. Look at that. 5 Sun Glory stacks. The moment this guy buffs her lineup. So yeah, that is good. Like we know now that every single buff here counts as her Sun Glory stack. So someone that can buff 2 kind of buffs, like someone like Sienna, and definitely Feng Sun. The moment he moves, she will straight up use her third ability to deal damage. But because this doesn't control the enemy, like it doesn't give any kind of stun, she will only just deal damage, and after that she will lose this thing. So it's kind of like a positive and a negative thing. Like Feng Sun definitely gonna move first in a speed team, and then after that Fatimah gonna deal damage, and she will lose the damage taken reduction from here. And after that, because it is only Feng Sun that moves, then the enemy DPS haven't moved yet, and definitely they gonna kill your Fatimah in the next turn. No. So we will see. I'm gonna use this. Let's see. Kabam. Yep. Oh no! We got the attack up buff. But it's okay. We're just gonna see first. Let's take a look at her third skill. Oh my god. Yeah. Number 1 at being cool, but yeah, damage-wise, that is kind of like disappointing. Although this test is without any equipment. So how much damage just now? 15,000, around 15,000 just now. Yeah, and we will see the other skill first. After this, I'm gonna take a look at other Esper that can deal AoE damage. Like we're gonna compare the damage. There you go. Ooh, yeah, 18,000 damage with attack up buff. So yeah, that's it. Like very very straightforward. Nothing else to test. I do want to see like where is the other AoE damage Esper? Like we gonna test with a default person like this one. Yeah, we're gonna test it with Mona. So how much damage Mona can deal compared to Fatimah can deal? Okay, we're gonna give her attack up buff again to be fair. And let's take a look. This one. Hakablam, 16,000. And this one? 14,000. Not that much higher, but it does give you, like if you have equipment, it's gonna multiply the difference. Yeah. So it is quite high. Actually, it is quite high. And also her damage increase her critical damage. So Mona is one of the high-end AoE damage dealer. 115% is 15% higher than other AoE DPS Esper, and also increase the critical damage there. So if she managed to crit there just now, then the damage got increased by a lot. So yeah, Fatimah deals far higher than that damage. But yeah, that is it. Nothing else interesting about the other skill. Oh yeah, this one. Increase the AP by 15%. Ooh. Did that come from the ability one? I didn't see just now. Let's see. Not this one. Yeah, that one. Action points increased to 15%. So that is quite alright. Like that is quite huge. A huge increase. Like that's a 50% increase than the 10% AP increase just now. So yeah, Avatar gonna be insanely OP for her. Like it does gonna give her a lot of chance to, counter attack and increase her AP and give her a bonus stats. I mean a bonus turn. Sorry. And where is the Avatar in here? I do want to give her Avatar. Let's go. Try on and try on. Let's go, Avatar. Yep. So we're gonna remove Mona again, and let's see if I do increase her here, attack there, or maybe yeah. Let's just keep Sakura because we already seen her damage using an attack up buff. So we're gonna see with the captain ability like how much more attack we can increase. And again, for your info, like this is without any equipment, So the damage, ooh, nice. The increase is a lot. Yeah, 20,000. It managed to get up to 20,000. So you can already expect, like, if with full equipment, she will be able to, at least make all of these enemies go down to 30% HP or even lower. So in a way, PvP. Like if the enemy doesn't have any protection yet, with her AoE damage, she probably will be able to one-shot all the enemy's DPS in a single turn. Like at the very beginning of the turn, when the moment Feng Sun used his buff, yeah, that's the moment she gonna kill the enemy DPS. And together with the attack captain ability like Momo that increase attack by 40%, then yeah, it's gonna make her be able to one-shot someone at the very beginning of turn. And also the buff, the moment it triggers, like I do want to see, like, can she get another one? Like I do want to continue until this guy here buffs again. Like, let's see. Okay, adjustment. Oh yeah, it's the 3 hit, yeah. Yeah, there. You know what I want to see? Like when I reach, like if I have 9 stacks of the Sun Glory buff here, 9 stacks, and then if the enemy buff like 5 of their teammates, will I get 14? Or will I stop at 10, use my AoE, and then after that, yeah, I'm gonna go down to 0 buff. So not gonna get the other 4 in reserve. I think that's gonna be the case, yeah, because if we look at the wording here, like max 10 stacks, so when we have 9 stacks and the enemy give 5 buffs, we're gonna stop at 10, use the skill first, and then remove the Sun Glory. Yeah, if we go by the programming logic, like that's gonna be most likely what's gonna happen there. And we're gonna continue here, we'll see. Where is the buff? There we go, 4 buffs. Oh, the one who buffs is this one, not this one. This one is the heal. Ooh, that's a counter. Nice. Oh. Yes, he does need to counter attack a lot to give her the Sun Glory stack. You know, every time she hit the enemy, if she gets one of these stats on the enemy below her, then she gonna. Oh my God, this is gonna be OP. And now I just realized, the longer the fight goes on, the more she gets a permanent, stats here. And then after that, the more she gonna counterattack, the more she gonna get Sun Glory every time she counterattack using Avatara. So every time she counterattack using Avatara, she gonna get 3 buffs of Sun Glory. And if she manages to counterattack 3 times, then she gonna be able to trigger her 3rd skill. Oh my God, this is... Yeah, now I realize like how OP she is. Yeah. Look at that. But it does depend on her stats, definitely. You know. So there's no mention in here that the stats needs to be on the the basic stats that is above. Like when if a target's attack is when she deals damage, yeah. So I expect this to be affected by the buff. You know, if we can manage to give Fatimah attack up and defense up buff, and also speed up buff, it's gonna make her stats far higher than the enemy. So she needs to be paired with Esper like Sachiko that can give all those buffs. So let's go back. We're gonna pair her up with Sachiko, someone like Sachiko. Let's go. Sachiko gives. What is Sachiko? Where is Sachiko? Yeah, this one. Sachiko gonna give attack up and speed up. So we do need the defense now. We do need someone who can give defense, and it's gonna be Gabriel. Yes. So if you can give a permanent attack up, defense up, and speed up to Fatimah, she's gonna be able to keep still increasing her Sun Glory by 3 stacks every time she attacks the enemy. You know, so that's gonna be her play style. So this is the defense up buff, and also immunity. This is gonna protect her from any kind of debuffs at the beginning of the battle, because this can only trigger the immunity can only trigger after the battle goes for a certain amount of time, when she gets all these permanent stats bonus, and she will definitely have all 3 stats, the attack, defense, and speed, above everyone else in this battle. And then after that, she cannot be controlled, and everything. So if she is the last Esper standing, she is going to be insanely strong because she cannot be controlled. And every time the enemy attack her, and if she manages to trigger Avatara, which is gonna be amplified by her Resonance 6, she will be able to keep counter-attacking the enemy and triggering her 3rd skill. eventually killing the entire enemy team while she is still, you know, uh, being hard to kill because of all those defense increase. And then also, if you pair her up with someone like Mavis, oh, now there is the Mavis there, yeah. So if that's the purpose of Mavis for Fatima. If you manage to pair her up with Mavis, like she will go into Graveless, and and she will be able to, keep doing this. She will be able to keep on doing this up until the battle becomes very, very long. So yeah, you can also use Clara as the captain there. So at least to give her a defense up, because she already have high attack from her rival rune. So pairing her up with a captain that increase defense will definitely make her easier on the defense department to be above the enemy. And at the very least, this one, the one that gives Sun Glory stack, will trigger from her defense, because of the defensive captain there. Yeah, and also make her survive far, far longer, compared to having an attack captain. And that's gonna be a better playstyle, because she needs to fight a long battle in order to keep getting the permanent stat bonus there. And if the battle gets longer, that's where Fatima gonna get stronger, that is where you want to pair her up with someone like, Clara, Gabriel, Mavis, like all those Esper that can give you advantage in a long battle. So we're gonna go for a long battle now. Let's see. We're gonna give Mavis as our Esper in here. Where is Mavis? There we go. So I'm gonna increase the enemy's level to 100. Where is it? Increase the enemy's level to 100 so as to give advantage to the enemy and see if we can survive this onslaught. And also, one more thing, like you don't really want to give a captain to her that increase your HP, because it doesn't get any benefit from HP increase. Like usually for other Esper, like you have two options. Like to survive, either you use Jin Yu Yao as your captain to increase your health, or use a defensive Esper. Sometimes, players need to choose between those two. It does give you the same benefit. Like the only difference is that if the enemy have more true damage Esper, like someone like Sujue, you don't want to increase your defense. But if they have like someone like Feng Sun that deals percentage HP damage, you don't want to use HP as your captain. But for Fatimah's case, you do get more benefit to give her a defensive captain compared to giving her HP captain because of her passive. This is such a bad test because I don't have equipment in this PTR account, but you can already guess the gist of it, like the idea. Like if this is Fatimah, then yeah, she definitely gonna be able to keep triggering Avatara there and probably spamming her third ability after she reaches 10 stacks of Sun Glory, just like that. So yeah, that is Fatimah's playstyle. Quite okay in terms of dealing damage and punishing the enemy for fighting a long battle, but I don't think it is something that is worth taking as much as someone like Sakura. So if you haven't get your Sakura yet, like Sakura is insanely strong because of this passive. This is like permanent. As long as Sakura is alive, your allies will all receive 25% damage taken reduction. And also it is really easy to keep Sakura alive because her third skill heal her to full health. And also every time she gets floral barrier, it's gonna give her a shield. So it's gonna be really easy to keep her alive, and in turn she's gonna keep your entire lineup alive. So yeah, if you do ask me, I do prefer for you to wish for Sakura right now rather than go for Fatimah. But if you already, have an idea on how to put Fatimah in your lineup, let me know in the comment, and it's gonna be something that is worth taking for you. If you already know, oh, I do have a lineup prepared for her. Like this is my current Momo lineup. Because we all just finished our championship and we got the Momo lineup. So I already make my counter-attack team using Momo. So this is my current Momo team, like a counter-attack team. Without Ana, of course. Like, I have Changjuli, I have Nye, and where is the rabbit? Where is the rabbit? And then I pair them up with Abigail, just so that if somebody died in here, I can resurrect them. So this is my counter-attack team, where Momo is the captain, because the captain ability increase attack by 40%. So yeah, if you do have Fatimah here, you can. Oh yeah, if you also have Ana, like this is gonna be perfect in here. Like Ana can also be the captain. This one can, can also Momo be the captain. And if you don't have Ana, I use Jiang Juli instead. But if you do have Fatimah, you can also try using this. Like this can be a counter-attack team, like because she counters attack a lot. But then again, like I said, if you do want to pair her up with someone as a defense captain, you can also do something like this. Pair her up with someone defensive. Like she can also fit in a defensive lineup. Like, where is my Gabriel? Where's Gabriel? There she is. Okay, someone like this. And also Sachiko. Because you will get the attack up buff and the speed up buff from Sachiko. So yeah, this is going to be a really good lineup too for Fatimah, because she also fit well in a defensive team. She's going to be able to increase her defense by a lot. Like if you do have her at Resonance 2, this is going to increase your defense by 200%. Combined with her basic 1000 defense. And Donar will be able to make use of all those defense, because he gonna absorb 15% of all teammates' defense and attack all enemies. So yeah, Fatimah is gonna be a really good pair with someone like Donar in here. Last time when Fuse first came out, I also mentioned the same combo, because Fuse get a bonus of a smoke screen, increase his defense by a lot. Like this is maximum 5 stacks, and it can also be increased to 10 stacks, I think. No. It's still 5 stacks, but the defense increase is 20%, I think. Yeah, so he can increase his defense by 100%, and he also have a damage mitigation that makes him really hard to kill. And Donar will be able to make use of all those defense, so this is also a possible lineup there. But yeah, if you do want to make use of Fatimah, this is gonna be a strategy that you can employ. So yeah, very straightforward. Other than that, there is nothing really OP about her. Like the only OP thing is that the longer the battle goes on, the more she is able to keep getting Sun Glory stack from hitting the enemy, whether it is using your basic ability or using your Avatar counter, and she will be able to keep spamming her third ability, just like Intisar. Like the playstyle of Intisar is spamming her third ability. Every time she runs out of invincibility, the stealth, not invisible, the stealth. Every time she runs out of stealth, every time she uses her first skill, she gonna cast the third skill, and that's where her strength comes from. Like she is able to keep spamming her third ability. And it can also be amplified using Avatar, because every time you counter attack using Avatar, you're gonna use up your stealth to deal percentage HP damage, and that's gonna make your rotation much faster to spam your third skill. So this one is of a similar playstyle, but with AoE damage. But then again, she doesn't deal percentage HP damage like Intisar does, so her damage will be reduced if you hit a Wuyo team. If you fight against an enemy Wuyo team, the ones that have a lot of defense, this can be like, significantly reduced. Also someone like Sakura will definitely reduce the enemy's damage taken. Again, like so I will give her a score of around 7 out of 10. Like, it is quite good. They probably think that this is really OP. It is really OP on a long fight, but so that they don't make the first skill and the second skill any more good. Like just by using this already gives her a whole lot advantage in a long battle. So yeah, really good at long battle, but yeah, so at a fast-paced battle. So that's it for this video, guys. So hope you guys have already got an idea out of this video on whether you want to pull Fatimah, or if you do have anything else to add, feel free to comment in below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.